have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make sense.
We are denied not only civil rights but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
One of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. I see a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? It's me now. Hear my truth now. Yeah. I'm here to speak and make it clear. I'm sorry, y'all, for all I've done. But I'm not the only one in a dark place. I told some lies, but I'm not the only one. We all got secrets under the sun. In the shadows, we played the game. Now I'm standing here taking the blame. A lot of y'all was at the freak off too, so don't put it all on me. That's just the truth. I've been up and down this road trying to find my peace. Confessions of a man without a release. Oh, now, hey. In the mirror, I saw the truth hiding in plain view. I'm coming clean now, this burden to undo. We were all there dancing shadows in the night, acting wrong when we knew what was right. But deep inside, there's more you must see. In this room of mirrors, it's not just me. I walk this path with heavy chains, trying to shed those sins, erase the stains. I've seen the highs and the crushing lows, fading in the spotlight. That's how it goes. Now I'm standing here, hard on my sleeve, trying to clear the air, let the demons relieve. Every wrong turn and every mistake led me to this moment, let my soul quake. Plays a part in the shadows deep, lost in the game. It's promises to keep. All right, hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamins. Okay, I'm sorry I was multitasking and actually forgot to add myself to the stream. Please make that make sense. Okay, so as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, and don't forget to like and share. It doesn't cost you anything, beloveds. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, most hated bronze flat power goddess here. Lamar, Miss AP, Sophie, Mr. Fat Arafats. Okay, Sean is here. You all are something else with these names. Okay. Sean says, you are the best queen, hands down. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Okay, Helen Rosenthal is here. All right, Nita's in Mike's World. OG Patrice is in the house. Sheba Pisces, okay, 504 Nola, Broken Silence, G from the Land, Terry Hartfield. Shout out to everyone in the chat and everyone tuned into Queen. Let's get into it because you all already know that I told you all that I have a very important meeting this evening. So let's go ahead and get into this. Even when I think my work is done, it's never done. So first things first. Now, you all remember that I reported to you back in May that there was going to be another lawsuit filed against Diddy. And basically a woman who said that she was trafficked and all of that. And then it was just about a month ago when Adria English came forward with her lawsuit. Okay, she said that Diddy trafficked her at the white parties when she was hired to host the white parties and all of that. Well, now she's going to step farther and she's taking her claims to the police. Diddy trafficking accuser files PD report. Cops sharing information with the feds, honey. Let's get into it. Now, one of Diddy's accusers might be giving the feds more ammo to indict him. The woman who's already suing him for allegedly sex trafficking her at his white parties has now filed a police report. Adria English spoke to Miami Beach police last week and detailed many of the same allegations dating back to the early 2000s. Now, she laid out in her civil lawsuit against Diddy, the same information is what she gave to the police. She had not filed a police report prior to this. Now, law enforcement sources confirmed that Miami Beach police detectives took a report from Adria, but we're told, this is according to TMZ, that they determined there was not enough evidence to investigate human trafficking or any other crime. However, the detectives did file the report, which they said they shared with the federal authorities running parallel investigations. Okay, Adria English's attorney, Ariel Mitchell, told TMZ that Adria is cautiously optimistic about the process and that she plans to file another police report in New York City soon. She hasn't already done so because they require that she make the report in person. Okay, and she doesn't live in New York anymore, I would imagine. Now, so TMZ broke the story when Adria filed against Diddy last month, claiming she first met Diddy and his crew around 2004, agreeing to act as a go-go dancer at the rapper's infamous white parties. English, who's a former corn star with a P, whose stage name was I'm Unique, says that she took the job to get her boyfriend a modeling gig. And let's not forget, Diddy wanted her man, okay? Anthony Gallo, the nice-looking model, wanted him to give him fellatio, and the man refused, okay? And then Diddy says, well, I'll give you the gig if you get your girl to be one of the people that dance at my parties, okay, and entertain the guest. And like I told you all, and I still think it's true, that Diddy likely hired her so that he could do something like this to her. I think it was premeditated. I think this was his way of enacting revenge on Anthony Gallo for daring to tell him no. Okay, because what did Diddy say in a video that I showed you? That he gets whatever he wants. He doesn't like to hear the word no. Okay, and so Adria says it spiraled from there, accusing Diddy and others of plying her with alcohol laced with ecstasy and forcing her to have sex with Diddy's friends. Okay, and here we go again with someone saying that they had to have relations with Diddy's friends. Okay, remember I told you Lil Rod said the same thing, and it was the same thing said in Cassie's lawsuit. Now, she's suing Diddy and a group of his friends, including Tamiko Thomas, the Ghislaine Maxwell to Diddy's Jeffrey Epstein, for emotional trauma, including intimacy issues and painful memories. Okay, Diddy's attorney, Jonathan Davis, told TMZ that no matter how many lawsuits are filed, it won't change the fact that Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted or sex trafficked anyone. We live in a world where anyone can file a lawsuit for any reason without any proof. Fortunately, a fair and impartial judicial process exists to find the truth, and Mr. Combs is confident he will prevail against these and other baseless claims. Listen. At the end of the day, it's a whole lot of claims that he has to come back from. It's a whole lot of allegations out there against him. Okay, now mind you, Adria was the 9th person to file a lawsuit, okay, according to reports. And then since then, we've had 2 whole inmates come out. You heard it here first, remember? We've had 2 whole inmates come out and file lawsuits against him, okay? For nefarious things that have already been alleged against him. Let's not forget, Derek Lee Cordello Smith claims that Diddy raped him back in the 90s at a party, plied him with alcohol, put something in the drink, and then took advantage of him while he was unconscious. Isn't that the same exact thing that Lil Rod, aka Rodney Jones, said? Same thing, right? And then not to mention the alleged cartel member, Alfredo P. Gonzalez, said that Diddy wanted them to be involved with trafficking people who were underage, and they told him no. And so then he says Diddy went and said all these nasty things about him, and he lost clients. Funny thing is, he thought he could get compensated in court. But I find it all interesting. Okay. And even he says that Diddy wanted them to take some of these minors if they would get them for him across the border. Okay, so I'm sorry. He already has an SEX trafficking investigation going on. He's been federally investigated for it. And so, how do you think all this fares? I'm telling you all, Diddy is going down. Sophie said also Jonathan Adi too, Queen. Exactly. Thank you, beloved. Okay, absolutely. I mean, it's so many at this point. How do we even keep track? And what did I tell you all in the beginning when Cassie first came out with that lawsuit? What's the first thing I told you all when there was like 2 more lawsuits came right behind it, back to back? I said the men are going to come out next. And here we are. Here we are. It took a while, but surely the men did come out. Little did we know Jonathan Adi had already said these things about Diddy, had already made allegations against him way back in 2018, but the police didn't want to hear it. Okay, didn't want to hear it. So this is all so crazy. But wait, there's more, because it looks like the walls are absolutely closing down on Diddy. Diddy, you're going down, honey, okay? You are going down. Now, before I get into this information about Biggie, let's go back and look over some of this lawsuit from Ms. Adria English. This lawsuit is 114 pages. Okay, Miss AP said, I lost track already. Exactly. Now imagine that. Okay, you're just listening to it. I'm actually out here doing research and can't even keep up because it's so many things coming out. Before we can get past one, here comes another. I mean, just think about it. Just last week, there was an inmate filed a suit. And then this week, there was another one. It's so crazy. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Here we go. So let's get into some of the details from this lawsuit. I know I read you all some of this stuff, and there's some salacious pictures on here. So I'm gonna have to be a little careful when I'm scrolling. All right. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, plaintiff has personally witnessed defendant Combs, Thomas, and Jacob solicit and ingest narcotics and engage in illicit SEX acts. Plaintiff was also employed at the white parties that commenced at defendant Combs' Miami Star Island residence. Now, during these white party employments, plaintiff's travel was arranged by defendant Thomas. Upon arrival at Fort Lauderdale Airport, a car service owned and operated by either defendant Combs, BBE, SJC, CGE, or Organizational Joes would retrieve plaintiff, defendant Thomas, and the other individuals from the airport and transport them to defendant Combs' residence on Star Island. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, defendant Thomas was to defendant Combs as Ghislaine Maxwell was to Jeffrey Epstein. Without defendant Thomas, a woman using her inherent goodwill as a woman to gain the trust of another woman, coordinating and acting as an avatar for defendant Combs would be unable to execute his corrupt SEX trafficking organization. Now, I want you all to think about this, because I absolutely believe this to be true. Is this why he allegedly enlisted the services of Christina Coram? Okay, and Ethiopia had Tamarim, because he felt like some of these women, some of these younger people, allegedly, right, would be more comfortable if it were women there, other women there, older women, talking to them, making them feel comfortable, making them feel like it was a safe place, a safe environment, that they wouldn't be taken advantage of or forced to do anything that they didn't want to do. That could all have been a part of it. Now, plaintiff is unable to recall details from the Miami white parties due to the increased demand that plaintiff engage in illicit narcotics and alcohol use while employed for defendant Combs. So this is a common practice. And like I told you all, when Christian Combs came on the yacht that night, the night that Grace O'Marcaig alleges that he assaulted her, she said he brought alcohol on there, and she believes that it was already laced before he even got on there. So this is just a common practice. And let's not forget that Mark Curry, the former Bad Boy artist, also said that they would put things in the bottles and they would tell the artist which bottles to drink from and which ones not to drink from. So everybody's lying. I don't know how his lawyers are still trying to defend this foolishness. I mean, I know they have to do it in court, but as it pertains to speaking to the media, they should just have no comment. They should not be coming out saying, oh, he's 100% innocent. He's never done this. He's never done that. He's looking forward to his day in court. They shouldn't be saying anything. They need to be silent, okay? Because they're going to be having egg on their face when all this comes to a head. And trust me, it will, okay? So with that all being said, upon information and belief, plaintiff believes defendant Combs had hidden cameras in every room of his home in the Hamptons, New York, and Star Island, Miami, Florida. Okay, upon information and belief, defendant Doe's, who were individual defendants, Thomas and Combs, passed off plaintiff to be sexually assaulted and said they were filmed by defendant Combs' security cameras, sexually assaulting plaintiff while plaintiff is unconscious during the white parties in both the New York and Florida and in Florida. Now, how much of this footage? Because remember, Diddy had been having himself recorded since the early 90s, okay, according to reports. How much footage does he have of who doing what? And at the end of the day, some of that stuff is definitely going to come back to haunt him. Okay, some of this stuff is going to be admitted into court as evidence. I want you to pay attention. All right. And some of that stuff is also going to get people who were friends with him who might have just kept quiet and sat idly by while all this was going on and stayed out of it. Some of this is going to get them to flip on him because I'm sure at least a few of those people were engaging in the alleged illegal activities. Okay, if these things are true and Diddy was in fact doing anything illegal, then likely they were too. Why would they be there at a party where such things were going on? Okay, please pay attention. So upon information and belief, these individuals and plaintiff were recorded without their knowledge and consent. Now, upon information and belief, this treasure trove of evidence in defendant Combs' possession may either still be in the defendant's possession or in the possession of the FBI, as the FBI extended a warrant and raided defendant Combs' residences in April of 2024. Defendant Combs is very forceful and demanding and does not take no for an answer and would often threaten to inflict bodily harm and or terminate plaintiff or her then boyfriend, Mr. Gallo's employment and blackball them from the industry if plaintiff did not comply with his demands. As defendant Combs acted and was viewed in such a way to where Mr. Gallo and plaintiff believed he had the power where defendant Combs' threats were credible. And why wouldn't they think they were credible? How many times had he already gotten into trouble by this time? Because remember, she met him in 2004 and worked for him from 2004 to 2009. Now, with that all being said, Diddy had already been in a significant amount of trouble, right? And had not really gotten any serious consequences. And let's not forget, you know, when people say, well, why did they let him do this? And why didn't they stand up for themselves? Well, that's easier said than done, especially when you have someone who's been accused of blowing up a car, someone who's been accused of paying for people to be bumped off. Okay, so that would be a pretty good reason for some people to be fearful and just to try to go along to get along and do whatever, however, Diddy told them to do. Now, defendant Combs used his power and influence to threaten and intimidate plaintiff to continue participating in defendant Combs' corrupt sex and drug trafficking organization. Defendant Combs, in an effort to continue to silence plaintiff and keep her in his sex trafficking organization, offered to help plaintiff enter into the music business as a part of an all-female music group. And that was clearly just all BS, okay? That was all BS. And here's a picture I can actually show. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, plaintiff knew of defendant Combs' prowess in the music industry and knew he had the power to help her advance her music career. Plaintiff believed defendant Combs would fulfill his promises to help her career, just as he had helped plaintiff's then boyfriend's modeling career. Plaintiff had been professionally exposed to the music industry side of Diddy, defendant Combs' empire, okay, grew more aware of the true nature of her employment at the white parties, and it was grotesque, inexcusable, exploitive, and criminal. Plaintiff's only way to escape defendant Combs was to return to California, which plaintiff did in 2009. Upon information and belief, in retaliation for plaintiff's escape, defendant Combs had plaintiff's then boyfriend, Mr. Gallo, blackballed from the modeling industry and had all of Mr. Gallo's campaigns with Sean John removed. Diddy is so vindictive. And you remember that phrase that he coined some years ago about bitch assness? Isn't that what he engages in? Let's just keep it a buck. Isn't that what he does? Doesn't Diddy act like a female? He has very feminine energy and tendencies. And I would have to think that that comes from him having been raised by his mother alone after his father died, because he very much so acts like a vindictive, bitter woman. Okay? He acts like a whole bitch is all I'm saying. Okay, so please pay attention. Now, upon information and belief, in retaliation for a plaintiff's escape, defendant Combs had plaintiff blackballed from the entertainment industry. Now, plaintiff became severely depressed and began to blame herself for being trafficked and for sabotaging her own career. And you know, this is something that victims absolutely tend to do. They engage in blaming themselves and feeling like they did something wrong, even though they're actually victims and someone did things to them. Okay, and most of the time, it's not even their fault. But they were taken advantage of and things like that. But they usually do engage in blaming themselves. Plaintiff became severely depressed. Now, being sex trafficked and abused has led plaintiff into a tailspin of anxiety and depression. In or about 2010, plaintiff was hospitalized for mental illness as a direct cause of her being trafficked by defendants. Everywhere plaintiff looked, she was reminded of being trafficked by defendant Combs, as he is an inescapable presence in music, television, and film. Now, I want you to think about this for a second if you can. Think about someone doing all of these nefarious things or being accused of these things. We don't know if he actually did any of them, but if he did, just think about the victims who had to go on about their lives, you know, being traumatized, dealing with all sorts of anxiety issues, seeking mental health treatment, and, you know, losing their careers in some instances. And meanwhile, they're seeing this whole devil who they're accusing of having done this to them, living their best life. All on the award shows, getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, being given an honor for, you know, lifetime achievement awards and all of that. Everyone just singing praises to their name. But deep down inside, they're viewing this person as a whole demon, someone who's clearly nefarious. Just imagine that. So goes on to say, in the ensuing years, plaintiff also experienced alcohol and drug addictions as she attempted to cope with the emotional trauma of being assaulted and trafficked. And I think that also is one of the things wrong with Justin Bieber. Okay, let's not forget the allegations, the rumors we've heard about Diddy and Justin Bieber. And Justin definitely seems to have substance abuse issues and possibly even mental health issues. Okay, now that's just my opinion. Plaintiff has also experienced intimacy issues as she struggles to maintain emotional and sexual relationships with men. Plaintiff was recently married, however, fears her marriage may fall apart due to her mental breakdowns precipitated by memories of the assault and the trafficking. Defendant Combs has altered the trajectory of plaintiff's career, denying her a successful and lucrative career in the music industry. To this day, plaintiff experiences bouts of depression, anxiety, body image issues, feelings of worthlessness, and intimacy issues because of being trafficked by defendant Combs. A plaintiff is a woman of faith, and when she saw news coverage of the countless lawsuits initiated by brave other individuals against defendant Combs, she knew she had a moral obligation to speak up. And, you know, some people were saying, you know, I read some of the comments before I came on here, and some people were saying, you know, why is it that she waited so long to go to the police and why she waited to file a lawsuit. Let me tell you something. We could all sit here and say what we would do in this scenario or any of the scenarios that the victims have expressed, but we really don't know for certain unless we were right there living in the moment and dealing with the things that they're claiming to have dealt with. Okay. And I mean, Cassie, it took Cassie forever to come out. Okay. It took Cassie a whole decade to come out at the end of the day. Kim Porter unfortunately never got a chance to. Okay. Supposedly she was writing the tell-all book, but you see how that panned out. So, I mean, you don't think this would be a hindrance to some people? So, plaintiff feared further violence and or retaliation from defendant Combs in filing this lawsuit, but ultimately decided that it was imperative she speak her truth with the hopes that no other individual would have to endure the egregious and heinous treatment that she has. Plaintiff seeks justice for herself and for any other of Combs' victims. And let me tell you all something. The fact that she went to file criminal charges against him says a whole lot. Okay, that's my opinion. The fact that she actually filed criminal charges against him says a lot, because some people, they may just want the money and they just want him to pay compensatory damages, and that may be enough for him. Some people may not want to go into a criminal court and have to sit up there on the stand and testify and say things that may possibly even make themselves look bad. Some people were just hoping for a settlement like Cassie got. But at the end of the day, the fact that she went and filed criminal charges against him says a lot, okay? And she's going to be filing even more in New York very soon. So Diddy's going down, honey. Like I said, the walls are closing in. And here's the good news for him, though. There is a bit of good news to all of this for Diddy. Let's look on the bright side. When Diddy goes to prison, well, there's already 3 inmates that he's friends with, or that he at least knows. I won't say friends, but there's already at least 3 inmates that he knows. And that would be Derek Lee Cordello Smith, okay, the man that claims Diddy raped him in the 90s, and then Alfredo P. Gonzalez, the alleged drug cartel member, okay, who also says that Diddy defamed him. Now, but not just them. You see, there's R. Kelly, okay? R. Kelly will be sitting right there waiting, I'm sure. Okay, and so anyway, likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, in furtherance of defendant's illegal enterprise, defendants Vibe and PMC insured defendant Combs and his businesses, BBE, SJC, and CGE, appeared overwhelmingly in its magazine to be on covers or pages inside defendant's magazine, featuring pages dedicated to defendant Combs personally or his business. Let's not forget that she sued Vibe also, okay? She sued them also. Plaintiff believes that defendants Vibe and PMC engaged in defendant Combs' illegal enterprise to increase the visibility and profitability of its publications. Vibe magazine, of its publication, Vibe magazine, through the magazine's constant affiliation and relationship with defendant Combs. Plaintiff seeks justice against all defendants for sex trafficking. Now, on or around Labor Day of 2004, plaintiff's picture was taken while in her employment capacity at defendant Combs' white party in Hampton, New York. Plaintiff did not know what her picture was being taken for or would be used for, nor was plaintiff's consent sought or given. Plaintiff has never entered into any agreement with any defendant to license her likeness, nor was it a term of employment at the white parties. Okay, and then here's some pictures of where where Diddy was on the cover of Vibe magazine. And remember, this was supposed to be the cover, or at one point there was supposed to be a cover that Biggie was supposed to be on, but Diddy even told Vibe to put him on there instead. Okay, so please pay attention. All nefarious. All nefarious. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Let's have a word from my sponsor. And then afterwards, we're going to get into this other information about the Biggie case. Okay. Likes up, everyone. Thank you in advance, beloveds. Okay, here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right, be sure to get your 12 Tribes on Earth at Etsy.com. You can go to Lisa Crafts and also at Walmart.com. Okay, and so now here's the thing. For those of you who follow the backup channel, don't forget or make sure you go on there because I posted some uploads for you, okay? I posted some uploads. I didn't go live on there today, but I did post some uploads, and I'll be posting more later. Okay, so now let's get into this because here's what they're saying. And this came out just a few hours ago, okay? They say a secret files from Biggie murder case handed to Tupac prosecutors implicates some of the biggest music stars from the 90s. Say what now? Who is this that they're talking about? Okay, I have questions. Okay, accusations against some of the biggest names in the music in the 90s are included among thousands of pages of files submitted to prosecutors in the Tupac Shakur murder case. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, retired Los Angeles cops have been the key to nailing much of the key evidence against Tupac's murder suspect, Keffe D. After trawling through old files from the notorious B.I.G. murder investigation, many of which will never become public, according to an insider. And, you know, I find that interesting. Why won't they become public? All of that stuff should be brought out. All of that should be public. We should be able to be privy to every single bit of it. Now, some of the detectives from the LAPD and the now disbanded Compton Police Force have collaborated with Las Vegas prosecutors to build a full case against Keffe D, who is charged with the 1996 murder of rapper Tupac. Vegas legal insiders said that the Clark County District Attorneys and their officers have assembled the widest ever probe into all the factors surrounding the East versus West Coast rappers or rap war, which led to the shooting of Tupac. Now, Prosecutor Chief Deputy District Attorney Mark DiGiacomo revealed in the court at Keffe D's bail hearing last month that his team were recently handed thousands and thousands of pages from various cops' probes of Biggie's murder in Los Angeles in March of 1997. Now, they're saying these are secret files, okay, that have not been reviewed previously. Now, DiGiacomo said the discovery included testimony dating back to late 1997 and a particular witness who had implicated Keffe before he gave police or media interviews about his role as a shot caller for the killings. So I want you all to pay attention because Keffe D has been sitting here trying to backpedal and trying to ninja splain and all of that. Now, he knows he went out and said all this stuff during that proffer agreement. And then also he's done these interviews and he's even written a book. Now he wants us to think he didn't have anything to do with it. Well, there's witnesses, Keffe D. Okay, now a Las Vegas law enforcement source has told the U.S. Sun that the files also include accusations against some of the biggest names in music in the 1990s. That said, they said without the help of the ex-Los Angeles cops, the case against Keffe would be less than concrete. Okay, saying their knowledge of evidence, witness statements, and Keffe's criminal past have prosecutors confident that Keffe has almost no defense. When clout chasing goes wrong, please pay attention because that's all it was. Once the police had that interview with him and they were interrogating him and they made a deal that they wouldn't use anything he said in that interview against him, that fool
being as obtuse as he is, clearly thought that that was the go-ahead, okay, for him to just say and do whatever, go around here just bragging about it. I mean, imagine someone bragging about being involved in the murder of another person, okay? So crazy. But now it's all coming back to haunt him. Now, saying their knowledge of the evidence proves that he has no defense. Now, the DA's team are set on biggest ever. They're set on biggest ever evidence files relating to Tupac's murder, including paperwork which may never become public. What's with all the hiding? I just have so many questions about all of this. I have so many questions. They include accusations against big names in the music industry. It has been an epic workload, taking over 3 years to assemble and collaborating with retired LA officers and mining vaults for evidence, which is still coming out to light at almost 30 years after the incident. Saying broadly, they feel their case strongly outlines a precise trail of evidence confirming that Keffe D was a central figure in Tupac's death from witness statements and circumstantial evidence. Legal insiders have revealed that California law enforcement had a full insight into the actions and the movements of the killer criminal gang who Keffe boasted he led on the quest to shoot Tupac back in 1997. However, Los Angeles cops' discoveries were never turned into a full-scale multi-state criminal prosecution. And don't you wonder why? Because I do. Because this information is nothing new. I mean, it may be new to us, but they've had this for years. So why didn't they do anything? Okay, I think that it was specifically a cover-up and that people were paid off. Now, that's just my opinion, and I can't substantiate that, but that's absolutely what I believe. I think that they've known all along pretty much who did it, and a lot of information about what happened. If they didn't know specifically who did it, I think that they at least had a lot of information to lead them in the right direction. Okay? Yeah, so anyway, goes on to say, however, Los Angeles cops' discoveries were never turned into a full-scale multi-state criminal investigation or prosecution. Now, the current Clark County District Attorney's Office has spent 3 years liaising with former cops to bring in as much evidence which they feel will have a significant bearing on the case. Self-confessed Compton gangster Keffe D, who has confessed in 2 police interviews, mind you, to being the shot caller of the Tupac assassination, has pleaded not guilty to murder. A Vegas legal source told The Sun Los Angeles law enforcement teams had decades of intel following Keffe D and his connected criminal associations and an understanding of the key players in these circles. Now, they say the crime was committed in Vegas, but on the ground in Compton, the aftermath played out in gang circles, both for Keffe's Crips and their rival, the mob Pyru. They say this murder trial is the first time that all the key law enforcement officers across both sides have collaborated to deliver a raft of evidence for many years to build a full case. You know what this really makes me think? This all coming out, all of this information, new files and documentation and all of this stuff, evidence being shared, different police departments collaborating after all this time, which clearly could have been done decades ago. But to me, it seems like now even the police feel more comfortable delving deep into this and trying to get to the bottom of it because Diddy's already in big trouble. I think even the police were afraid of Diddy. What do you all think about that? And we have to know that Diddy definitely was able to instill fear in some people that we just wouldn't even suspect regularly, because this is the same person who allegedly threatened the cartel, who allegedly threatened a whole cartel. Who does that? So yes, I absolutely think that the police, even themselves, feel more comfortable sharing information and actually trying to get out there and solve this case at the end of the day. So anyway, goes on to say, likes up everyone, please like and share. It says Keefe's defense really have their work cut out to convince a jury of their stance that there is no proof he wasn't in Vegas on the night of the Tupac shooting and he invented his confessions for fame and fortune. I'm sorry. It's too much evidence now, Keefe D. You have messed up officially. Okay? He and Diddy need to sit in the same cell along with anyone else that had anything to do with the demise of Tupac and Biggie. Okay? Saying there is a confidence from prosecutors that they have the evidence that will nail him. Okay, this is what a source said. They say the witness list for the trial is being prepared by the DA. And let's not forget that Foxy Brown is wanted to be one of the star witnesses, one of the key witnesses, okay? Because remember, they said she was in the car that night when the transaction took place. So in the car with Zip, if memory serves me correct. They say it will feature former officers from Los Angeles police and specialist divisions explaining their insight into Keefe's criminal past, which he boasted about in interviews and in his memoir. And now that he is charged with the murder, he suddenly wants to deny it. Okay? So he thought he got away with it scot-free. He thought it was a wrap. Now, Tupac fans have been waiting for justice for the iconic rapper for almost 28 years. Finally, in September of 2023, there appeared to be progress with the arrest of Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, a former Southside Crip gangster from Compton, LA, who had been telling the world for years that he and his fellow gang soldiers were responsible for the hit. This is also crazy. Now, they say, I've been reporting on the case for several years, and it always appeared pretty cut and dry. Keefe had spent the past decade gaining notoriety by boasting about his alleged involvement in the shooting. And now he's finally getting what he deserves. But despite Keefe D running his mouth for years, it is now believed a guilty verdict in November's trial is far from guaranteed. Well, we're going to have to see about that. Keefe describes in great detail in his memoir, Compton Street Legend, what went down the night Pac was shot. Okay, extracts from which the Sun has published. He claimed that he was offered $1 million by rapper Diddy to handle Tupac and Suge Knight, and then he and his Crip gangsters came across the pair driving near the Strip in Las Vegas on September the 7th of 1996. Keefe alleged that he passed the gun to his nephew, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson. Okay, also crazy. Please pay attention. It says he handed the gun to him, and then who then fired the shots. Keefe said if Pac had been on his side, I would have blasted. Remember he said that? All bold and proud of himself. Now he wants to recant. Keefe repeated the claims multiple times over the years on YouTube channels, documentaries, and even in taped confessions with the police. Okay, when he believed that he could not be prosecuted. Now, in one confession to the LAPD, Keefe appeared completely remorseless, telling detectives, "We didn't give a F. The ambulance for Tupac was parked right there next to us. That ish was funny as a mother ucker." Wow, really? That's what he had to say? Ooh, honey. But let me continue. The Sun has been publishing stories about Keefe's self-confessed involvement in the crime since 2018. They say they sent many of the links to his confessions to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, asking them why this man had not been arrested yet. They would thank me for the info, but say that they could not comment because the case was still active. So full of crap. I think this whole thing was a cover-up from day one. I really, really do. Now, from the outside, it looked more like no actions were being taken at all. That's because there was none being taken. There was none being taken. Let's not forget how the journalist, okay, for the LA Times had given them information from when he spoke to witnesses and even had paperwork and everything, and they said it was fraudulent. But mind you, a former FBI agent saw the paperwork before it was turned in, and he even said that it was authentic. At least he thought it was. So you mean to tell me a former FBI agent doesn't know real paperwork when he sees it? Of course he does. So they go on to say that we spoke to former detectives involved in the case and documentary makers who all felt utterly frustrated at the lack of progress in the case. We even published a plea from former LAPD detective Greg Kading, who had probed the murders, urging Las Vegas cops to arrest Keefe back in 2020. Yeah, because Detective Greg Kading was the one who did all those interviews with Keefe D and who was gathering up all this information on Biggie and Tupac's murders for years. But finally, in the summer of 2023, we got word from one of our sources that there had been a huge development in the case. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Okay. Now they go on to say a secret grand jury was due to be held on whether or not Keefe should be indicted. They say they were dubious at first, but around the same time, a house in Henderson, Nevada, linked to Keefe D was raided in July as part of the Tupac investigation. And then things started heating up. Later that summer, behind closed doors, jurors listened to hours of testimony from former cops, detectives, and coroners involved in the Tupac case, and gangsters and associates of Keefe's and Pac's from back in the day. They were shown graphic photos of Tupac's bullet-ridden body. After days of evidence, they decided there was enough evidence to prosecute Keefe D. Now, once the secret documents were released, they say they pored over the transcripts. While interesting, many of the witnesses were telling stories they'd heard secondhand. None of the prosecution witnesses had a clear look at who exactly shot Tupac. One witness named Devonta Lee claimed another gangster called Big Dre took the shot, not Orlando. Maybe things weren't as clear-cut as first was thought. Now, Keefe was then arrested on September the 30th of 2023 at his home. Body cam footage that was obtained from the scene showed Keefe D bragging to cops even as he was being handcuffed in the back of a police car, telling officers he was involved in the biggest case in Las Vegas history. I think I have video footage of that in my TikTok that I did about all of this. Okay, so following Keefe's multiple appearances in court, he seems to have lost much of that bravado and now cuts a sad, lonely figure. Now he wants to look forlorn. Now he wants to look sad and somebody needs empathy and sympathy for him. This is the same person who said it was funny when they took Tupac's life. Said it was funny as an MF, okay? I wish this man the worst. I absolutely do. I hope he's not only found guilty, but I hope they give him the death penalty, of which I'm sure they won't, but it would be nice. Suffering from various health problems as a result of cancer, he's struggling to cope with the brutalities of jail life and can't get together enough money to afford his bail. He feels some of his old Southside Crip associates, men that he handed wads of cash to in his glory days, have just abandoned him. Well, isn't that something? Keefe is now desperate to get out of jail, and his defense stems is leaning on his claim that he completely made up his involvement. That's what his defense is all about. That's the only thing they can come up with. Oh, he just made it up. But why? Why would you make something like that up? Why would you lie about being involved in a whole murder? Why would you want people to think that you're a murderer if in fact you were not? So he saw other people cashing in on the murder, so he thought he would do the same. He reckons his confessions to police were all lies. He made it up because he was under a plea deal and thought it would help him beat his other charges. How so? And according to his attorney, Carl Arnold, he wasn't even in Las Vegas on the night of the shooting. Arnold remains convinced that he will see his client walk free and their secret weapon could be former Death Row Records boss, Suge Knight, who's also in prison, by the way. So as the only other person still alive from either car, Suge currently is in prison for a fatal hit and run. He would be a key witness. Isn't that something? Now, Suge is the only person still alive who knows what went down, and he saw the shooter. While he said he won't testify at the November trial, Suge has claimed in a TMZ interview from prison that Orlando was not the shooter. Okay, which again throws into doubt Keefe D's versions of the events. Keefe D and his lawyer are hoping they might be able to change his mind and persuade him to testify for the defense. And Suge holds the power to blow the prosecution's case apart. And if Keefe walks free, will there ever be justice for Tupac? These are all good questions, but sadly, we don't have the answers as of yet. I can't listen. Yeah, he was bragging Terry Hartfield. That's absolutely what he was doing. Low down and dirty. Okay. So, I hope that Keefe D is found guilty. And in the process, I hope that there is enough evidence after the trial to go and file charges against Diddy. Okay. Because I absolutely believe that he ordered the hits. All right. And let's not forget that the former federal prosecutor said on the video I showed you yesterday that basically that incident that happened at Chalice Studios with G, Diddy, and Justin, allegedly, according to Rodney Jones's lawsuit filing, well, that was attempted murder. You heard what he said that was attempted murder. Okay, not a robbery. Nothing was stolen. And he said that they already know for a fact that the incident occurred inside the studio because of the crime scene with the blood and all of that on the floor, the bathroom in disarray. So they're putting 2 and 2 together and clearly getting 4. And let's not forget that there's also likely another murder charge that Diddy may be facing for dangling that woman over the balcony. Okay? Please pay attention. Remember when Tiffany Red posted that on her Instagram, showing how high the building was. I think it was like 17 floors. Okay, I showed you all the picture. So with that all being said, Diddy's going down. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, and there's no way around it. He is a devil, and that's exactly how he should be treated as such. Okay? Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. And let me just say this upon closing. It is in my opinion that when Diddy's indicted, Diddy is not the one to go to prison. He's not the one to be able to deal with prison life, I don't think, especially with people knowing of the things that he's been accused of. What if it is proven that he was actually messing with people that were underaged, if he's a whole PDF file? Now, you know how that's frowned upon, right? So I have questions. And not to mention, you got into it with the cartels, and the cartel has people in prisons. So how do you think that's going to turn out for him? Diddy would likely either do something to himself, as has been alleged that he tried to do before, or was thinking about, not tried, but was thinking about doing before with the whole City College incident. Either I think Diddy would do something like that, or he could be Epstein. Okay? At the end of the day. D. Nice said the same thing. Diddy will be another Jeffrey Epstein. I absolutely believe it. Because there's too many people that are potentially on those very, I'm sure, incriminating tapes. There's no telling who's on there. And the people that are on there probably don't even know for sure if they're on there. And even if they do feel like they are, they don't know what in the world they were doing. Okay? Unless, of course, they were always committing crimes when they went to those parties. But who knows? All right. Greta Lee said Diddy will not be going to jail. He is going to pull an Epstein. Okay? With that all been said, Marlene Nash says, hey, beautiful lady, thanks for bringing us the truth. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Thank you, beloved, for your kind words, and you do the same. Okay, so with that all being said, Sophie said, this is so sick. It is. Okay, Mel Will says, I was just about to say that he will be Epstein. I believe it. Okay, Nessa G said, he never thought his truth would come to light. No, he didn't. And you see, that's the foolishness of people like Diddy. You see, what happens is when people get away with things so many times and so long over a span of decades, just like Harvey Weinstein. You know, they said Harvey Weinstein doing the things that he was convicted of doing. They said that was an open secret in Hollywood, okay, for at least 3 decades. Same length of time just about as these allegations against Diddy. Okay, so with that all being said, well, at least the incident with Tupac and Biggie, these other these other allegations came after the fact. But for at least 3 decades, there's been rumors about Diddy being nefarious. And the fact that he's gotten away with so many things, he's been able to allegedly pay people off. He allegedly paid off even witnesses to lie on Shine, which led to Shine getting the 10 years and he got nothing. So that likely gave him a sense of security and comfort. He thought that he was untouchable. Okay, that's where he went wrong. He thought that he was untouchable, and he was so arrogant and so prideful. And isn't that what the Bible says? That pride, in fact, goes before the fall. Okay, so please pay attention because he is clearly falling. All right, he is clearly falling. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance, beloveds. Okay, so with that all being said, hold on. Someone's telling me, OG Patrice is telling me to check my emails. Hold on. Let me check my email real quick. Uh-oh. Ooh, honey, this is all juicy. Okay, so OG Patrice, honey, yes, I absolutely do want to discuss that, okay? Listen, beloved, I'm going to email you back after this broadcast because this all sounds nefarious, okay? Thank you. I will definitely be emailing you right after this. Okay, so with that all being said, Greta Lee says, Mel Will, Diddy has money making him an honorary white man. Not honorary. Okay. Samantha said, like Mama used to say, what happens in the dark comes to light. Absolutely. And the Bible says the same thing. What's done in the dark will eventually come to light. And it looks like the light is now shining a spotlight on Diddy. Okay. And all of his nefariousness. With that all been said. And let me just tell you all something, what I saw yesterday. So yesterday I actually saw a video, and maybe I'll show it to you all tomorrow, but I actually saw a video of this mansion that Diddy owns that is abandoned. And, you know, they've been trying to sell it and all of this. But, honey, it looks so creepy and scary. Okay, it just looked like there was just a whole bunch of demons just roaming through it as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it just was such an eerie feeling just even looking at it as the person walked through it. Okay, it was just all crazy. I don't know who would want to live in any place where Diddy has dwelt. Okay, just think of all the freak-offs and the crazy things that have gone on. Okay, I mean, who knows if people were even murked in those places? I just have several questions. Sophie said probably one with a dungeon. Okay, Greta says Diddy can't sell anything at this point. All right, he sure can, honey, because Derek Lee Cordello Smith has put a halt on that for at least 90 days. He won't be selling a thing. Okay, so all hell no, said OG Patrice with a juicy burger and tea. Okay, so listen, with that all being said, Sophie B says a lot of evil spirits roaming in them. I believe it. I absolutely believe it. Okay, so with that all being said, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Again, don't forget that I uploaded some videos on the backup channel. And I have at least one more that I'm going to upload. It's already recorded. And for those of you who follow the spiritual channel, I did send out the new ebooks to those of you with a higher frequency and self-elevating memberships on yesterday, or I sent them out last night. If you are one of those members and you did not receive your ebook, please send me an email so that I can get it to you, okay? And we will be live on that channel tomorrow at 6:15. So until then, beloveds, don't forget to watch the DNC tonight, okay? And so with that all been said, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Hey, yo, Nick, hit him with that flavor. All in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. That's See right. A bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got